Yo soy guajiro, vivo en el monte, yo soy guajiro. Yeah, I got a fire on in the background. Coming forth from the fire. Malt liquor ain't too bad when it's ice cold. Neo anime girl, I look like a Dead Redemption character. Hello, mother. What do you think of the cowboy hat? Ma'am. Father.
Oh shit, I gotta turn that light off. That's a bad glare.
I have a fire going, Father.
I just came forth from the fire.
He has risen.
I just checked into my hotel room.
Got hurricane.
Nice. I'm having a little natural ice. It's all they had at Publix.
Wearing a black cowboy hat just for you.
Ranchers wear black.
Ranchero, there's nothing wrong with a ranchero.
Unless you're a homesteader. Ranchers don't like homesteaders because homesteaders put up fences.
Their livestock can't graze.
Right. That's usually the main storyline in most westerns.
Yeah. There's always an issue with someone's property or someone's livestock getting stolen or something.
Big J checking in from the hotel room, says Big Rum 609. This doesn't look like the inside of a semi? How do you know that I'm not in front of a blue screen and I'm making this look like a hotel room and I'm really at a truck stop? How do you really know?
Father started working for Newsmax.
Right. That's going to be the next thing the trolls try. Big J was drinking in the truck. He made it look like a hotel room. These fucking trolls. They're something else, man. I'll tell you what. These trolls are ment killers, man. They complain that there's no ments. And then, well, I shouldn't say they're all ment killers. There are ment killers among them, is what I should say.
There's always that one lunatic that wants to burn the forest down.
Right. Like that idiot. I'm not even going to mention his name. Telling everybody I'm a pedophile because I made a video making a joke about a child psychologist using a stuffed animal for a child to show where they had been hurt. I mean, that's an old joke. Show us on the stuffed animal where they hurt you. I mean, I hear that joke once a week. Someone said it to me on Facebook earlier today. Show me on the stuffed animal where they hurt you. And that's all I was doing in that video. And he wants to pretend that I'm a fucking pedophile. Well, you watch that entire video, it's obvious what I'm doing. Whoa, someone just pulled in. Those are headlights.
There's a guy on here called UN Carson saying you are a pedo.
Yeah, okay.
He's just lucky I don't fucking block anybody.
That is actually how they do it with a stuffed animal, someone's saying. I know, I was making a joke about it. Now, was the joke in poor taste? Yes. Does that make me a pedophile? No, I was making a joke because it's kind of child psychologists are basically ridiculous people to begin with. All psychologists are. I mean, come on.
It's not an exact science. That's another thing that people don't understand about psychology and psychiatry. It's not an exact science.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I made a video, and it was in very poor taste. Oh, well, that's not a crime. You know, it's not going to exactly get you dates with single moms, but it's not a crime.
No.
I'm not out looking for single moms anyway. With joke and poor taste and get women with kids to run away from me, I accomplished my goal. I don't want to raise someone else's kids. Not bringing up any names, but... Oh, hey, you got 71 people watching.
It's fluctuating.
There's probably a lot of dead accounts. It shows that I have 12,500 people following me, but how many of those accounts are dormant?
Yeah, or they can't get access to them.
Right. Oh. All right, you're going to have to start reading some comments because my thing's not... My question for Jay is, can he peck pop like Terry Crews? I don't even know who Terry Crews is.
Terry Crews is a black comedic actor.
Oh.
You know, and here's the thing. He's the one who brought up, which I think there's some truth to it. He's the actor, and I've noticed that since he's said this, I haven't really seen him anywhere other than I think it's America's Got Talent or something. But he's the one who brought to light that there are a lot of homosexuals in Hollywood, and as a male, you will get sexually harassed. They'll grab your ass and everything.
Yeah. But it's okay, because they're the ones that are gay. They're the ones that are persecuted.
Well, Jay, they're a protected species.
That's racist. I'm calling your employer. I'm sending this video to your employer.
The gays, the homosexuals, the transsexuals, they're all protected species.
Vegans. Basically, the Democratic Party is just a group of misfits that are they all look out for each other. Vegans, homosexuals, transgender.
Christopher Overhaul, if you drive a Nissan Maxima, you're a homosexual.
I'll tell you what, some of the biggest pieces of shit on the highway drive Subarus. My God. Talk about...
No, go ahead.
You're hauling ass in a semi, and you're in the right lane trying to stay out of everybody's way, and some environmentalist in a Subaru tries merging on the freeway at 55 because they're trying to save the goddamn environment by getting good fuel economy. Fuck. Get the fuck out of my way with your green bullshit. Fuck.
You know, the trouble with some of the vehicles today, they're just so well made. Like for instance, you mentioned the Subaru. That vehicle, it gives the person just way too much confidence driving. It just handles so well. And I speak from experiences. I remember the job that I used to have before Publix. That job, my boss would sometimes let me drive his Subaru. And I remember being on I-95 and it's pouring down fucking rain. It's a monsoon. People are slowing down. People got their lights on. People are pulling off on the side of the road. I'm doing 70 in a Subaru. So some of these vehicles are so well made and these people have so much confidence in them and how they handle. They just don't understand that. No, you're in a great vehicle and you don't know how to fucking drive, and sooner or later you're going to kill yourself or someone else.
Jeez, I can't. My machine's not keeping up with the comments.
Scroll all the way down.
I did.
Okay.
It still won't keep up. Pisses me off.
All right. Brad's doctor. Okay, next topic. Boring. Eli Chambers. What is father drinking tonight? Father's drinking natural ice. Human Young. Jay, is it true that Dale is 5'5" with heels?
Oh, you know Dale wears cowboy boots every chance he can get. Absolutely, Dale wears boots. You know, you brought up male comedic actors earlier. Is Dale Chance the Kevin Hart of bodybuilding?
Oh, shit. Well, that could be a legitimate question. He's 5'5" max.
No, Dale claims he's 5'8". There's no fucking way. No way. I don't know. You guys have all seen the video with him and Lenny at the gym. Lenny's probably 6'4". I've never heard Lenny claim to be 6'5".
Lenny literally looks legitimately a foot taller than him. Legitimately.
Well, I know when the great all-time great running back Barry Sanders, he was listed in the program for the Detroit Lions at 5'8", just like Dale. But everybody knows Barry was really 5'6.5".
Now, the thing about Barry Sanders, I remember him playing at Oklahoma State. I remember when he played there. My God. And then he hadn't even gotten into the NFL yet, and I forgot what magazine it was, but they had listed his lips, and he was squatting 500.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, guys with short little femurs like that, they can squat a shit ton of weight. I mean, Barry's, I don't know the average length of a femur, but I mean, if you think about it, how long is Barry Sanders' femur? Probably 12 inches, if that.
And now I do believe that Barry was listed at 200 pounds. I believe that he was at least 200 pounds. Now try.
He was muscular like a motherfucker.
Try and think about it in this way. You're a defenseman, whether you're a defensive lineman, a linebacker, a defensive back. Here comes this guy running at you with like almost sprinter type speed. And
For 40.
Yeah, he weighs.
Barry was that kind of runner that could do a kick-ass 40, but then he never got going any faster because he had such short little legs.
But trying to take down a 200-pound man, that's a half a foot shorter than you or a foot shorter than you, I'm sorry, it's kind of hard because the one thing I know about football, about tackling, about blocking, the lower guy always wins. Whoever gets lower wins.
Right. Let's say you're playing middle linebacker and Dale Chance is running the ball up the middle and he puts his helmet right into your fucking chest. He's going to win.
Yeah. Or you got to be like you remember Jerry Ball? Jerry Ball was only like 6 foot 5'11". He would beat guys all the time because he'd just get lower than them.
Did he go to Clemson?
You know, I don't remember. I remember him and Mike Singletary's brother ended up playing together over in Cleveland.
Oh, wait a minute. No, he did not go to Clemson.
Not Mike Singletary. What's his name? The Perry, the refrigerator Perry.
Michael Dean Perry.
Him and Jerry Ball ended up, I believe, playing together over in Cleveland. They would literally flip a coin to see who would start.
The Perry brothers went to Clemson. Jerry Ball must have gone to South Carolina or Georgia. I got to get to the fridge, grab another cold one.
Jake, can you be my powerlifting coach? All you got to do is just ask Jay questions on the comment section, and he'll answer them.
I'm not even going to try and keep up with the comments. I'm letting you read them.
J312, you guys don't know football.
Shit. When it comes to modern day football, you're probably right, but I can tell you just about everything about football in the 90s and the 80s.
I miss those old NFL films where it's like from the 1940s and 50s and you see a linebacker just fucking clothesline somebody.
Yeah, talk about men in tights more. What's that supposed to mean?
So football players wear tights?
The only person I know that wears tights on a regular basis is Adam McLeod. Oh, fuck, it's pouring here.
I got beautiful blue skies with white clouds here so far.
Oh, it's a monsoon.
Mother's here.
Yeah, I saw that. I think she wished me a happy birthday on all 5 of my accounts.
Oh.
And I made sure to say thank you, because if you ignore her, she gets all butthurt and then she'll block you. Oh.
Nah, she'd never block you. Christopher Overholt, I wear tights underneath my gym shorts. They keep my quads warm.
Didacto 666 just checked in. He seems like a decent guy. He's always on your live stream.
The doctor.
Jerry Ball went to college. Someone Google that. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say South Carolina. Oh. Most of those big, sloppy African American defensive tackles all played in the South.
Well, yeah, we grow them big here.
Like Florida State, Miami, Clemson, South Carolina. I like a big, sloppy, shirt untucked, belly hanging out, African American defensive lineman.
And you could switch that guy up. You could run a 3-4, you could run a 4-3, depending on what you want to do. He'll take up 2 guys.
Yeah, that's the advantage of having a nose tackle that's 360 pounds. Not too many teams play that kind of football anymore. The NFL has turned into all quickness. You don't see those big, sloppy guys on the defensive line anymore.
There's guys getting drafted in the NFL as far as the linebacker position. There are guys getting drafted in the NFL in the 220s, the 210s that are linebackers because they want fast guys.
Right. Right. A lot of guys, they may have been a safety in college, and then they get drafted in the NFL to play linebacker, and they're 210 pounds.
Today, in today's NFL, and he dominated when he played, there was an undrafted player, a defensive lineman, who I believe he was 6 foot 275. And the guy dominated at that size, and his name was John Randall. And I believe he played for the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, he played for the Vikings. If that guy was around today, he would thrive in today's NFL. As fast as he was, the way he would go through 300-pound offensive linemen, he would thrive today. And he was dominant when he fucking played.
I remember those old Minnesota Viking teams. They literally, their defense, and I'm not joking around, I'm being 100% serious. Their starting defense was 100% African American. And I believe their offense had like one or two white guys, like a quarterback, because he's got to remember the plays, so they're going to get a white guy. And then I think they had like a white tight end. That's it.
Jay, you don't remember Keith Millard?
That name sounds familiar.
Keith Millard was a defensive lineman for the Minnesota Vikings in the 80s.
I'm talking about the mid-90s, early 90s.
No, yeah, the mid-90s. Yeah.
You can literally run almost entirely African-American football team if you keep white guys at a couple key positions, like punter, kicker, quarterback, tight end,
long snapper.
Right, long snapper, and maybe even on defense, middle linebacker. Someone that can talk to the coach with hand signals and tell the rest of the team what to do. I know it sounds racist, but it's just true. You only need about 4 white guys on a football team. How's that racist? Someone's going to say that's racist. How's that racist when I'm saying you need more black people?
How many gay guys? Okay. How many Cubans do you see in the NBA? That's all I'm going to say.
I remember.
That's all I'm going to say.
When the NFL first went soccer style, kicking field goals, did any Cubans make it as kickers?
No, but probably a few Brazilians.
I remember the Dallas Cowboys had Mexican kickers back in the day, man, when they first went to soccer style. Dallas was one of the first.
Remember Gary Upremian? Ah, shit.
Toe kicking is so stupid. The ball, you have no control of where that ball's going when you toe kick.
Yes, 239, Sean. Cubans only good in baseball, unfortunately. Because it's our life. It transcends politics.
Yeah. I'm sure they're decent soccer players. They just don't get to travel much.
The only thing I know is that the one thing I'll say is that Cuba has a rowing team, an Olympic rowing team, and we can row like a motherfucker.
Oh, they'll roll a Volkswagen Bug all the way to Florida. They will take barrels and turn a Volkswagen Bug into a pontoon boat and row it to Miami.
Most Volkswagens float anyway, so.
You know, they say that Cuban mechanics are the best mechanics in the world because they can take parts from a 1957 Chevy and keep a Soviet-made automobile running.
You know, one of the things that I learned from the Cubans. So, you know how when you go to an auto parts store, you see all these gas additives, you know, something to improve either your octane or
Right.
to clean out your fuel injectors and all that, which, I mean, if you know anything, it's like one of the worst things you could do to your car.
Right,
What I
because most of them are nothing but pure methanol, which is wood alcohol, which is highly corrosive to anything in your fuel system that's rubber.
Exactly. So what I learned from the Cuban, this is what I learned. You go to a gas station, you get a quart of transmission fluid. You put half of it in the tank, fill up the tank, put the other half in, and go. It will clean out everything without ruining anything. Now, you got to look at it from this perspective.
Are you saying dump it in the gas tank?
Yeah.
Well,
I know it sounds crazy, but it fucking works.
Transmission fluid is nothing but hydraulic oil, but it's highly, highly refined. There's practically no impurities in transmission fluid, whereas if you just got some cheap hydraulic fluid, it's loaded with impurities, like something you would dump in a pallet jack.
Yeah.
That's why it won't fuck up your car, because transmission fluid is so pure.
Now, to go even further, look at it this way. I still remember being in high school and being in that mechanic class, and it didn't matter what it was. When we would take apart a transmission, everything just seemed not, everything was clean. Everything was just absolutely clean.
Well, there's no combustion in a transmission. If you don't have slippage in the torque converter, it's going to stay clean. It's funny that you said you took a transmission apart. Well, a couple of nights ago, I took a tranny apart pretty well myself.
My name is Jay Masters, and I jerk off to tranny porn.
Who made that? Just Ments? Did he make that video?
That was great. Yeah. That was great.
I hate to sound like Hamburg, but Just Ments is a really good guy. I know he doesn't get along with our good buddy Jay Trendfinger, but, it always takes two to tango.
Well,
usually when two people don't get along, there's no innocent victim in the situation. That's all I got to say about that.
Everyone has their part in everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things I learned from my dad. I remember him telling me, look at all the problems that you had in your life. What is the most constant thing that is in your life? It's you. Not that all your problems are your fault. There's going to be individual times where you're the victim. But just remember, all the time, you are the one who is there. Sometimes you have to see your part in it. That's all.
Well, right. Like if you're one of those people that's always getting in conflicts, what's the constant? You.
Exactly.
You're blaming everything on everybody else, but you're the constant in all these beefs. Look at all the beefs I've been in. I'm the constant. I admit it. But, I'm on Instagram to have fun. I'm a troll. I'm no better than the rest of you guys. Just, a lot of the people, I hate to call us talent because that's such a gay word. But, the OG Misfits, we were basically the talent. and everybody else is the fans. And I'm one of the few members of the talent that really likes to troll. Brad doesn't troll, Andrew doesn't troll. Lenny trolls, but Lenny only trolls when the camera's on him. Like when he tells Jason how good he looks. Lenny's trolling. But Lenny doesn't go online and troll people. Oh, I like trolling. It's fun as fuck. Michael Jacoby 13 wants me to talk about P.J. Braun, Aaron Singerman, and Boston Lloyd. I saw something about Boston Lloyd's autopsy today. They're saying it was something with his aorta that was actually genetic. He inherited it from his father, a defect in his aorta.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah, the same thing happened with Dallas McCarver back in 2017 when he passed away. But we know what he passed away from, but he did have pre-existing conditions that he probably didn't even know about. He wasn't seeing.
Dallas McCarver died from shooting insulin, and then
they found his face in his food.
Yeah, he fell asleep at the dinner table because he was on too much insulin and he didn't eat sugar quick enough.
And then when they did the autopsy, they found cancer in his thyroid. They found a major blockage in one of his main arteries. They discovered that all of this was genetic. So,
hey, when it comes to cardiac health, a lot of it is genetic. Like my mom's mom, my maternal grandmother, she could eat a salad and her cholesterol would increase.
Yeah, my mom's side of the family is fucking riddled with everything. Everything.
It's the men in your family that are riddled with homosexuality. Oh, fuck. This sure is nice, relaxing in a hotel room.
You deserve it. You're entitled. You're one of the real American workers out there. Without you, this country would not function. Without the truckers, sorry. Our highways are the veins of this country. The truckers are the vital blood cells that go through it. Without the truckers, I'm sorry, guys. Public wouldn't be able to fucking stock anything. I wouldn't be able to go fucking grocery shopping. So.
You know that dipshit Democrat member of the House, AOC?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Yes, she's pretty hot. But she is so fucking stupid. She was bad-mouthing the truckers. And she said, I don't need truckers. I get my groceries from the grocery store.
What a fucking moron. At this point with AOC, now let's just think about this for a moment. Either she is just completely fucking stupid, somewhere between naive and stupid, and probably the latter, or she's absolutely brilliant and she plays dumb. I mean, it's either one or the other.
I think she's batshit crazy, and sometimes when you're batshit crazy, you talk faster than you can think.
Yes.
Yeah, she's nuts. Speaking of the truckers, that freedom convoy that was supposed to be happening in the United States, I just sounded like Genova when I said states. That was a complete setup, man. That was never real to begin with. What they were trying to do was trick people into showing up in Washington, D.C., so that they could get some optics. They wanted truckers with Confederate flags and hopefully a Nazi battle flag to show up in Washington, D.C., so that MSNBC and CNN could just flood the airways with these racist white truckers who don't want to get vaccines. That shit was never real to begin with, man. I don't believe any of that bullshit because I basically am at a truck stop every day unless I'm off work and at a hotel. And I never, ever, ever heard anyone talking about it. If that was a real deal, there would have been somebody with a booth at the truck stop handing out flyers, encouraging people to rally up. And I went through Washington D.C. early Sunday morning on my way north. And obviously, in a tractor trailer, you got to take the Beltway. Most people hear the term Beltway and they don't know what it is. You can't take 95 straight through Washington, D.C. You got to take the bypass, the Beltway, which is called 495. And you can take the Western Way or you can take the Eastern Way. And you people that live up in the Northeast know exactly what I'm talking about. 395 takes you right through the center of D.C., and that's automobiles only. So supposedly the truckers were going to clog up 495, which is the Beltway around the city, makes a big circle around the city. Well, I went around the city early Sunday morning on the eastern side of the Beltway, and there was not a single tractor trailer pulled over on the side of the road parked. Nobody. There were no vehicles being staged for any kind of protest. So that whole thing was bullshit. They were trying to trick people to participate in that nonsense so that they could have the optics, so that they could put it on CNN and MSNBC and have the visuals and try and convince the voters that there was another January 6th type of insurrection going on. The truckers are doing an insurrection. Oh my God.
Yeah, and here's the thing. The reason why I know that it wasn't real is that for the past week right now, I've been listening to Alex Jones. And the way that he is, if he knew that this was really happening, he would start helping the truckers and start hyping it up.
Uh-huh.
And it never happened. He hasn't talked about it once this week. So
Right.
if it was real, if it was really happening, he would be talking about it.
I think it was a complete setup because
They're trying to build a straw man. That's what's called building a straw man. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to build a straw man. It's not going to work.
Don Lemon needs some new material since the protest has been foiled. And it was never real to begin with. I don't know who started it. Maybe a trucker did start it, but man, somebody stepped in and said, "Brah, this isn't a good idea," because it fell to pieces.
And Jay, here's the thing. I still know a few guys that work for UPS because I worked for UPS years ago. And I still know a few guys over there that are in the union. That's the same union that Jimmy Hoffa started. They don't have a clue. They're like, what? What are you talking about? We haven't heard anything about it. We've heard nothing. So that's, you'll notice, you go through all my IG accounts. I haven't posted anything about it. Nothing.
I haven't either. See, I knew it was bullshit because by the time they were going to get to Washington, D.C., almost every state has lifted the COVID mandates. I mean, for Christ's sake, New York City does no longer have mask or vaccine mandates. Is there any place in the country that still has mask and vaccine mandates? I don't know of any, but I haven't been to the West Coast. What's Seattle and San Francisco like? I don't know. But I can tell you, the whole East Coast is wide open. You don't need a mask anywhere.
Now, Jay, I'll tell you this as a parent. I know that here in Palm Beach County, if your child goes through the school system here, whether it's public school or charter school or a private school, literally as a parent, you have to send 2 letters. You have to send 1 letter to the fucking principal and 1 letter to either the guidance counselor or the dean, depending on where they go. Your kid literally needs 2 fucking letters to let everyone know that, no, I don't want my kid wearing a mask. And unless you do that, your kid has to continue wearing a mask at school. That's what's going on here presently in Palm Beach County.
Well, Palm Beach, Broward, and Dade are the Democratic strongholds of the state. Ron DeSantis doesn't have as much power in those 3 counties as he has in the rest of the state.
Now, remember the last election, as far as down in Dade County, as far as like seats and things like that, out of nowhere, 2 Republicans, which was not supposed to happen, 2 Republicans won seats. Things are changing. And by the way, I want to remind everybody of something. For some reason, right now, under this administration, and we all know about Cubans and how most Cubans are, right now, Cubans that come here to America, if they float over here on an inner tube strapped with a 55 Chevy, okay, if they float here on an inner tube with a 55 Chevy, they're going to get sent back to Cuba. But for some reason, they're accepting everyone else. And the only thing that they're trying to do is change the demographic of the voting. So
that's the old wet foot, dry foot rule.
Look, and here's the thing. I really, before Barack Obama left office, that's the last thing that he did. He ended the wet foot, dry foot thing. In a way, I really don't have a problem with it, because not all, but some, if not half, if not most of the Cubans that are coming here now, they're completely brainwashed. They love the Democratic Party. They've been living off of fucking bread lines and, enough food to last you, that's supposed to last you a month and only lasts you a day. For some reason, they think that that's just absolutely great. And they're coming to this country and, they want more of it for some fucking reason. But why did you come here? You came here because you were fucking starving. If you wanted to starve, if you wanted to sweat and eat fucking beans, stay where the fuck you're at. Don't come here and ruin it for the rest of us.
Yeah. No, Hispanic support for the Republican Party is at an all-time high.
Turn on the light. And then there was light. So, this is what I've noticed within my own people.
Your own family?
I'm sorry?
You don't say please to your own family? How about please turn on the light? How about a thank you?
All right, Jay. When I go back in the house, I'll give her a 20. So, the one thing I've noticed of my own people, the Hispanics, the ones that actually grew...
Oh, the Hispanics. When you said your own people, I thought you were talking about the homosexuals.
Don't be so judgy. So, the Hispanics... This is why Father loves me. I just roll with everything. So, the Hispanic, the ones that grew up in their countries and they know what happened and they know what they lived under, most of them, they're going to be more staunch about freedoms, freedom of choice, freedom of speech, bear arms, all those things. They're going to love the Constitution. What I've noticed is the Hispanics that were either born here or grew up here, they're completely fucking brainwashed in the psyops. They've grown up in this victim culture that I call. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it woke, call it whatever you want. It is a victim culture. You're born black. You're black. You were born here in the U.S. or you grew up here. You're a victim. Holy shit. You're black and you're gay. You're the ultimate victim. So the younger generation of Hispanics are the ones that I worry about that have grown up here. The ones that are coming here, not so much, but the ones that were born and raised here, unless they actually see what their parents are talking about, what their parents really fucking came from, they're not really witnessing the societal decay that is happening around us.
Well, a lot of these young punks that you're talking about, you know, maybe their grandparents are deceased and they haven't heard the stories firsthand.
When my grandfather first came to this country, both of them, my dad's dad, for instance, and every time he would talk about it, he didn't have any regrets. He wasn't bitter. He came to this country. He had to get, literally, he was working 3 fucking jobs and getting 3 to 6 hours of sleep a night. But the way he would describe it, he didn't have any regrets. He wasn't bitter about anything. And the one thing he always told me, along with my mom's dad, they both told me the same thing. In this country, they both told me that this was a great country. You can have whatever you want, but it's not free. Free isn't free. Free costs something. Free costs someone something. It's going to come out of somewhere. It's going to come out of somebody's pocket. Okay? Free is not free. You can have an America, the America that I remember, the America that I know that can still be, you can have whatever you want in this country, but it's not free. For some reason, I don't see anything wrong with that. Cuba is becoming a pile of rocks, Jay. It's becoming a pile of rocks. They got buildings over there that were built in the 1930s and the 1950s that are crumbling. I don't want this country to become a pile of rocks. I could drop dead tomorrow. I still got 3 daughters, okay? I could drop dead tomorrow. I don't want this country becoming a pile of fucking rocks. Father probably has Fox News on.
No, I got some country western channel on showing
Good.
old.
What are they playing?
Something's just starting. It's a movie. It's Trading Post. You ever hear of a country western movie called Trading Post? I'm on the Grit Network, whatever the fuck that is. I just turned the TV on for some light.
The Doctor 666. Where's the partner swap, gentlemen? Oh my God. Maurice 1990, Father, come forth from the darkness. Tits. T 1970, girls with WT. Eli Chambers, 97, Dale's favorite channel. He sits on the floor in front of the TV after each workout and drinks his chocolate milk sitting.
Rodney Dale Chance. Did you know his first name's Rodney?
Why is he offended of his first name?
Well, he's not. His dad is Rodney Leon Chance. So his dad goes by Rodney. So Dale had to go by his middle name.
Either that or he didn't want to go by Junior.
Well, he technically is not a junior because his dad is Rodney Leon Chance.
You're right.
But Dale is very pissed off that we found out from his Facebook page that all of Dale's family and people that have known him his whole life and love him and care about him affectionately call him Bubba.
What's wrong with that?
Well, because Dale's very insecure about growing up a fat kid.
I've been a fat ass all my life. I mean, get over it.
Yeah, but you don't have short man's disease. That's the difference. Dale's got issue, bruh.
Fucking shame.
This is a pain in the ass scrolling through these comments to try and keep up.
Someone just said fat power.
I think Carolyn is using this live stream as a dating site. For Christ's sakes, Carolyn. She's chit-chatty with everybody on here. Carolyn, remember what happened the last time you road tripped to see a fellow misfit maniac? Didn't wind up so good. Calm down. Well, we got 44 people watching. That's not bad. I used to do 100 back in the old days.
Jay, we don't have a five bedroom home that's gated. We don't have tattoos. We don't have so we're just completely uninteresting for some reason.
Dude, Taco Macho just said, me bully, just read your fat gothic post on Facebook. It is brilliant, Father.
What, Jay, honest to God, when I saw that, the very first thing, I'm just going to have to be honest, the very first thing I thought of was Lenny, because one of the last times I was in the same gym with Lenny, there is someone that frequented that gym that was under a transition, so to speak. He had a real thick, long neck and breasts. And Lenny looks at him. He's right there. And Lenny looks at him and says, "What is that? I don't like that." I look at him and say, "Jesus Christ, Lenny, guy's right there, bro." That's the first thing I thought of. What is that? I don't like that. And you were right. Gothic chicks, you're supposed to look like you're near death.
Right. If you're a fan of Glenn Danzig and the Misfits, you're going to be somewhat familiar with their artwork. And there's a lot of skeletons, and there's a lot of zombie-looking creatures that are near death, and most of them are lacking some flesh. They've got missing flesh. They look half-starved. I mean, now Misfits aren't gothic. Misfits would be categorized as horror punk.
Embrace the horror.
Yeah, horror punk is a different genre. But the whole purpose of gothic is to look like you're near death. And I posted on Facebook that exactly that the purpose of gothic is to look like you're near death, not a regular at the Golden Corral buffet. And I got these feminists all up in arms.
That's how you know you're living in a societal decay. We're in the middle. What we're witnessing right now, this is why I say these are epic fucking times. Okay? We're living in a societal decay where you cannot imagine, Jay, today being a doctor in the state of California, and you're in Los Angeles, San Francisco, right? And you're not allowed to tell your patient to lose weight. Your patient could be at the precipice of fucking death. And you cannot tell them, listen, you need to lose weight or you're going to fucking die.
The fans tell me that every day.
Listen, I'm going to say this, and my father agreed. So you have the Polish genetics. And I've discussed this before. When the Germans were doing all their experimenting during World War II, listen, all that shit that you've seen in the Marvel comics, the fucking movies, the Super Soldier program, all that shit was really going on. Look up what fucking the Russians were doing. Russians were artificially inseminating Russian women with ape and gorilla semen. Okay? The Germans, the experiments that they were doing, for some reason they realized with the goal that they had, the Germans had some type of genetic flaw. Guess what country they went into to find individuals to experiment on because they were genetically applicable for what they were doing?
The Germans?
Poland. They went into Poland. For some reason, the fucking Polish, they have some type of genetic disposition for what they were looking for in creating a super soldier.
Well, Hitler viewed Polacks as being inferior because they're Slavic.
For some reason, he took back what he said because they fucking went in there looking for fucking recruits, so to speak.
Didn't Nazi Germany have a program where they were sending Russian men to impregnate Norwegian women to try and refine the Aryan race?
Yes, that's actually true. That's true. Again, that's part of all the experimentation that they were doing, trying to create a super soldier.
Now, it makes sense maybe why they were using Polacks to create a super soldier, because Slavics are more like a pig. They can live in sloppy conditions, and who really cares if they die? So they would make a good.
Father, forgive me. The live is ending. We only get an hour. So right now, I expect you to eat something, get some rest, as I will as well. And always remember, the reason why you're so beloved during a sect of fans is because they are the Lost Boys.